We are delighted to have with us today Josie Trinidad and Lehtomaki, respectively Head of Story and Head of Animation at Disney's on Wreck-It Ralph 2. Hello Josie and hello Kira, how are you?
Good.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for being there. Welcome in Annecy. To begin, it's not your first time in Annecy, Josie, but is it for you, Kira?
It's my very first time and I'm so excited to be here.
How do you feel about it to come back and to discover? Have you talked about Annecy when you were on the flight to come in? What was the
I just
expectations?
said it was so beautiful that it looks like Pinocchio. It's gorgeous here, and so I came in 2012, and I talk about it at the studio, and I tell everyone you have to go to Annecy, not only because it's a beautiful town, but because of the animation festival. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, and there was so much talk about the people that it's just, these are our people. Like, this is the best audience in the world, and it really feels that way when you walk around. Everybody loves animation and is so excited to be here, and that makes it all the more magical. So.
Let's have a little flashback. Kira, I think you fell in love with animation when you were 3 at first Cinderella's sight.
It was actually Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty,
yes,
sorry.
It's okay.
Josie, do you remember what was your fall in love with animation?
So I was watching Robin Hood. I was probably around 10 or 11. I always loved Disney, but it was only when I watched Robin Hood with my best friend, and we were watching it on VHS, and we paused it, and it started to play frame by frame. Oh. And I realized that those were drawings, and people did those drawings. And I knew then that I had to be a Disney animator.
So that's a little bug in the screening of Robin Hood that day that made you understand the way pictures are.
Yes, that they were
amazing.
Sequential drawings. So. And they were gorgeous drawings too, and that I just fell in love with the art of animation at that point.
Today you are presenting a few moments ago to Annecy's audience the first images of Wreck-It Ralph 2. Screening like this must be quite important when you're half a year from hitting the theaters. Were you looking for something special in the audience reactions, and did it help you?
Absolutely. This is the very first time that we showed so much of the footage to an audience. And so, I think we're always, kind of nervous, like, are they going to like it? And, the reaction was so warm and the reception was so great. And, the applause was really, really nice. I mean, it's like we so love making these movies. And then, to see people enjoy it, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, and for me, we've seen some of these sequences over and over again in editorial and various screenings. And so after a while, the jokes, we're not laughing out loud anymore. And so it's been probably over a year, maybe, since I've really seen the princess sequence with an audience, and to hear that reaction is sort of reinvigorating, because we're so close to the finish line with this movie, and to know that we're working on something that it works, it's resonating with the outside audience. I think it's going to help, just help our team at home realize we're making something pretty great and special.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Annecy is kind of a booster for production and
absolutely.
It also reminds me of, I long to be at Disney for, since I was very little, and I remember being a student and just, dreaming of being there and to, see people reacting and being in the same spot that I was, it just, I don't know, it fills me with so much gratitude of just the privilege that we have to be here, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Thank you. In the first film, Ralph was messing up with the world of video games. Now he's moving on to the world of internet. Yeah. Both films are delivering quite a strong message to the young ones, made of self-mockery. Don't let yourself be drawn in video games or internet. Do not let those virtual worlds take control of your life. In both cases, this is an interesting mise en abîme for animation artists. Is this the most important role and goal, to your opinion, for animation films to help us to step back and have a good laugh at ourselves and get back on the right track afterwards?
Absolutely. I think that that's when we're sort of lost in the filmmaking and in the story, when it gets difficult. I think that's exactly what we go back to, and we try to just simplify it. What are we trying to say to our audience? And just what do we want to communicate? And it's usually just a reflection on ourselves, something quite like universal among all humankind. So that's exactly, I think, when a story is difficult, that's kind of what we narrow it down to.
Yeah, and these films are entertainment and they're so much fun, but I love that there's a purpose to them, and that there's something important that we can take away from this, and the fact that these movies do show us that we are all the same, and that we can relate to each other no matter what our backgrounds are, or that's magical to see people from all different walks of life laughing and relating to the same things that we do halfway across the world.
Well, thank you to both of you for producing, making it happen with all your teams and staff and directors. I have a rumor to share with you. I've heard that you are already working on Ralph Breaks the Annecy Festival. Is that right?
No comment.
Can you
Who's your source?
I cannot say, but can you just give us a few ideas of what would it look like if that was real?
This whole place would be destroyed with Ralph and Vanellope.
Would he jump from screen to screen, messing up with the others' productions? I think we should look into it.
Yeah.
Maybe seriously.
Ralph would want, enough with the rabbits and the Le Pen. You want Ralph.
Well, Josie and Kira, many thanks for that moment with you, and have a wonderful stay in Annecy. Please stay a little more and come back with Ralph. Right with you.
Yes.
You have it.
Merci.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.